万门大学的小伙伴们，大家好，我是兰菲利博士，是莱特研究大学的应用神经科学教授。接下来我们会看 Bob 老师和 Judith 老师如何看待亲密关系，如何维持良好的亲密关系，而且如何通过亲密关系来更好地了解他们自己。
What is the purpose of relationships, of intimate, loving relationships? Most of us think it's to have somebody to share your life with, which I think is important, to help you be happier. Well, sometimes that happens. Sometimes people think the purpose of relationship is just to have somebody to feel better with, but we're discovering that the purpose of relationship is much greater than that. It's much deeper. We've been experimenting with what's possible in relationships and our coaching and our training and our curriculum, the right foundation for the realization of human potential and the right graduate university. And in our own relationship for years now, really looking, what's the purpose of being together? What's the possibilities that relationships can hold? And most people don't expect enough out of relationships. And we've discovered that the purpose of relationships is not just to hang out with somebody. There's something much deeper that's possible.
Well, I agree. However, I've got to tell you, the purpose of our relationship has included softening me up and me learning and growing and attaining more understanding of humanity. Because one of the biggest fights that we have is when I've been insensitive to other people. Judith is profoundly sensitive to other people's feelings. And I am way more sensitive than I was 30... some odd years ago.
30 some years ago when I met you. Well, I think then one of the purposes of the relationship for me is the other side of that. That it's not that my sensitivity is important, but I was actually more sensitive to other people than I was myself. And you've really taught me that I matter, that it's important for me to be sensitive to my own needs and my own thoughts and not just always defer to other people, and not just defer to you, to learn to really express myself and to have opinions, become stronger.
As a matter of fact, you may have gone overboard on that.
Well, maybe so, but then we'll rebalance that.
Just kidding.
That's the case too. But
No, I love that Judith is assertive. She couldn't believe the first years of our marriage that I wanted her to be more assertive. Judith was so shy when we got married that she would not ask me to bring the groceries in out of the car. She wouldn't ask me to do much of anything.
No, it was hard for me to ask for things, and you've taught me that. You've demonstrated that because you do that more easily, so I've learned from your model and how you to anticipate things in the way that you do and ask for it more directly, and I've learned to be more assertive and be more forthright. I'm really thankful for that. And I think these are examples of what relationships really can be, that it's not just the purpose of a relationship isn't just to feel better, it's actually to become better. That your relationship can be a vehicle for your own development, your own growth, your own transformation, because I feel like since I've married you, I've become someone different than I was when I first met you.
That's for sure.
I'm not the same. I've learned so many things, both through your model, through how you act in the world, but how you interact with me, but also just through being able to work together with you and really it's not always, we fight, as you know, we fight. It's not always like roses and simple, but I've learned more about myself by being more forthright with you, being able to fight with you, to be able to counter you, because I didn't even know, sometimes I don't even know what I think until I start expressing myself. It's like I discover myself in the relationship.
Oh, yeah, and fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, learning and growing, I think, is pretty much what we're saying.
Yeah.
But I think the other part that I would want to add to this is becoming more of who we really were in the first place.
Yeah. I think that's helpful. One of the ways we've talked about it for relationships, and when we're coaching couples, we talk about this too, and you observed this for me, so that relationships can be both a womb for your growth, something that, just like being a baby in the mother's womb where there's nourishment and nurturance and safety so you can develop. You provided that for me, security and support and love and acceptance, but also a crucible, because any of my raw edges, anything that's, it's grinding away some of the impurities in my way of being, some of the things that aren't that developed, some of the more than not so clean aspects of myself. Both that womb and the crucible, our relationship has helped me with my development and continues to.
Well, I think that one of the ways to think about this is we share a common purpose to learn and grow and serve the world. And if you think about it, with a common purpose, the fights resolve more easily. But if we have different purposes, then we're going to have trouble. If one of us is about career and the other one is about family, then the conflict doesn't resolve as easily. So for us, the purpose of relationship is to fulfill our individual purposes and to create a common purpose and to bring our gifts to bear. Judith is a phenomenal researcher. I am a top practitioner. I know how to apply a lot of different things. And together, we have been discovering things academically, but also things of the heart. I've learned more about empathy and caring. You know, in the book, you're going to see a lot about fights. The book, The Heart of the Fight. Couple's Guide to 15 Common Fights, what they really mean and how they bring you closer. You're going to see a lot about fights, but what's not in the book are the fights that I don't have anymore.
Good point.
We talk a little bit about fights about the dishwasher and how to arrange the dishwasher. Early in our relationship, I had a spiritual teacher, and I took Judith to meet him. And he looks at us, and he looks at her, and he looks at me, and he says, "What? You think you came to tell me you love me? Your marriage is in trouble." And he looks at her and says, "What do you resent about him? What do you resent about her?" And he left 100 people waiting while he beat me up for the next half hour or 45 minutes, saying, "What do you want her to think? She divorced a monkey to marry a baboon? You leave her alone. The only place for you two to compete is in the bedroom to give each other pleasure." It's not the only place we compete. but the learning and the growing, and that's part of the crucible for me that has really helped me learn and grow. But growing within myself, growing between ourselves, growing in all of our other relationships, we're very, very different than we were before. And that's part of why it was so cool when Judith did her research and discovered the transformational process of evoluting, that we're very good at following our yearning with each other and others and engaging, learning and growing. And it's so wonderful to be partnered because Judith will tell me what she thinks I did wrong. And she helps me revelate, to reveal things so that I can operate differently. And I would say another purpose of a marriage is to have the blessing of someone who's willing to go through those things with you.
Well, I'd echo that, and because there's so many things that you're talking about, because see, I didn't even know that it was okay to honor my own yearnings. You've given me a lot of permission to be able to do that, to really know that I mattered in that way. So to really go on that journey to listen.
And I'll take credit for that one, because I made the deal with her. I said, I want you to do whatever you want to be satisfied and fulfilled. And I want you to remember I said this because I may resist you every step of the way.
Well, yeah, you wanted the best for me, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, because what I wanted sometime would be in conflict with what you wanted.
You're just saying that in the past?
No, it's true, like today, like every day, like all the time.
I didn't want to be doing this.
So, but I'm really glad that we
I was just going to come up and do the prop on the triangle piece.
I'm glad. It's really more about what relationships are really about, and the possibility of learning from each other, but also your being able to give me feedback, to be able to see me in ways that I can't see myself.
And you getting me to do things I don't want to do that I
like
really
this,
am glad that I did.
Yeah, like that, like right now. I think that's like really important for us. And it's like, and it doesn't mean that it's always fun or that it always feels good, but we always do learn and we always grow. Even in our fights, I was really conflict averse. I thought fighting in anger was something very, very dangerous and really scary. And I really had to learn, and you really helped me with that, like really engaging in a fight so that your truth comes out, what you're feeling, what you really need. And then a lot of our fights, I didn't realize, I mean, I'm so happy now, but that I would understand myself better, I'd understand you better. And if we hadn't had those fights, and that you would feel closer after having a fight, that kind of blew my mind.
And you taught me that it's not always about winning a fight.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
at any
true.
rate, this is just a little intro to what we think is possible and what we're learning, and inviting you to join us in learning and growing with the heart of the fight.
The heroic journey of becoming yourself, being in deep relationship with another, with big truth and honesty and joy and wisdom and good, beautiful fights where you learn and grow. So the possibilities of relationship are way beyond anything we ever thought possible. And it feels so wonderful to become as part of your relationship. And we really want to share those skills that we've learned and we've researched with all of you so that we all can start creating more and more relationships that are growthful and transformative and satisfying, so we can have more love in our lives and more love in our world.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you.